In June of 1972, a small team of burglars broke into an office in Washington, D.C., a seemingly minor incident that would soon unravel into a monumental scandal. At first, it looked like a simple crime, but America would soon learn this was no ordinary break-in. It was the beginning of a scandal so huge, it would ultimately lead to the resignation of the President of the United States. This is the story of Watergate, a tale of power, deception, and the undeniable truth that always comes to light. It was just after 2 a.m. on June 17, 1972, when these 5 men entered the Democratic National Committee headquarters within the Watergate office building. Their mission was clear: plant listening devices, steal political secrets, and help President Richard Nixon secure re-election. But something went horribly wrong when a security guard noticed tape on a door lock, leading him to call the police. Minutes later, the burglars were caught red-handed, their covert operation exposed. Initially, their identities were unknown, but evidence soon began to point to an unthinkable truth. Individuals close to the president were involved. The day after the arrests, the White House moved swiftly, with Nixon's press secretary publicly declaring, "The White House had no involvement whatsoever." The nation, for a time, believed him, unaware of the panic spreading behind closed doors among Nixon's top advisors. They began a frantic effort to shred documents, pay hush money, and meticulously cover their tracks. Nixon himself privately affirmed, "We have to protect ourselves, whatever it takes." The elaborate cover-up had officially begun. While government officials attempted to dismiss the story, 2 tenacious young reporters at the Washington Post refused to let it go. Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein began their relentless investigation, calling witnesses, poring over court files, and connecting dots no one else saw. Then came the pivotal moment that altered the course of history. A mysterious insider, known only as Deep Throat, met Woodward secretly in a parking garage. His message was brief but explosive: follow the money. And they did, meticulously tracing a trail of illegal payments and a secret fund. This chain led directly to Nixon's re-election committee, making the truth increasingly difficult to conceal. By 1973, the scandal had grown too immense to be ignored, prompting the U.S. Senate to launch a full investigation. Millions of Americans watched the hearings live on television, captivated by witness after witness revealing secret payments, illegal spying, and lies. These revelations pointed to orders originating from the highest levels of government. Then came the biggest shock of all. A White House aide disclosed that President Nixon secretly recorded every conversation in the Oval Office. Those tapes, it was believed, contained the undeniable truth. Nixon, however, refused to release the tapes, asserting executive privilege, claiming they were private and protected. But the courts disagreed, and the legal battle escalated all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States. On July 24, 1974, the court ruled unanimously, "Mr. President, you must hand over the tapes." The nation held its breath. When the tapes were finally released, the world heard Nixon approving the cover-up just days after the break-in. There was no more doubt, not even among his own political party. Congress prepared articles of impeachment, and Nixon's support collapsed overnight. On August 8, 1974, President Nixon appeared on national television, and with a shaking voice, he announced, "I shall resign the presidency effective tomorrow noon." The next day, Marine One carried the only U.S. president ever forced out of office, as America watched in disbelief. Vice President Gerald Ford became president, and in his first weeks, he made a controversial move. He pardoned Richard Nixon, meaning Nixon would never face trial. Some viewed it as an act of mercy, while others saw it as a continuation of corruption. But one thing was clear: Watergate changed America forever, strengthening journalism and creating new laws to limit presidential power. It reminded the world that no one, not even the president, is above the law. The Watergate scandal remains one of the most dramatic chapters in American history, a story not just about crime, but about truth and the people brave enough to uncover it.